Hey YouTube, I hope everybody's doing well today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about harnessing the energy of spring. So as you all know, we have the spring equinox coming up. In fact, in the Western hemisphere, the spring equinox is actually going to be tomorrow or March 20th. So you're probably wondering like, okay, we know spring is happening. We know the spring equinox is going to be happening, but what exactly does spring represent? So in essence, spring represents renewal. It represents flowers, nature's awakening from being dormant. So basically when we have that winter cycle, everything is sleeping, everything is dormant, and in spring we have this renewal and this reawakening of life. Oftentimes for me, what I notice is that if I go outside or even if I open up my windows, there is this floral scent that is coming into my home, and it's really refreshing. And you just see people being a lot happier, the days are longer, the sun is shining brighter. So in essence, we're just seeing a lot more life that's happening. And I want to give you guys some tips on how to boost this energy, how to bring this harmony and this playful energy of spring into your life. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. One of the first things that we can do to bring that spring energy into our life is to do spring cleaning. A lot of the times, to have that energy and have these blessings flow in our life, we need to make sure that we're decluttering, getting rid of old items. What happens is that when we're releasing and letting go of those old things, more blessings are able to flow into our life. And what's deep is that this is represented on both the physical level, so as far as us having material possessions, and it's also represented on the spiritual level as well. So if we're holding on to emotional blockages, if we're holding on to a friend that we know that doesn't serve us or our highest good anymore, so just releasing the old to make space for the new. Okay, another simple way to bring in this refreshing spring energy is to open your windows up. Let that fresh air flow into your home. Let this new energy flow in. And what's going to do is that when you're opening up your windows, you're going to release stagnation. You're going to release old energy to make space for the new. Okay? Another thing that we can do is to actually smudge and purify our space. We can utilize cedar, we can utilize sage, we can utilize Palo Santo. And what it's going to do is that this is going to once again flow into that energy, is that it's going to get rid of a lot of stagnant energy. It's going to release any negativity or blockages that are present in that space to make space for new blessings as well on the spiritual plane that is existing in your space. You can do this in your room. You can do this around your entire house, which is actually great as well, to make sure that energy is flowing. And basically, in essence, if you notice so far in this video, there's a lot of talk about flow, because spring in itself is a new beginning and we want to have that energy flowing. If there are any blockages in our life that we have, or in our space or on the spiritual level, that energy is not going to be flowing. That energy is not going to be able to flow into our lives as easy. So we want to make sure that we're just having that flow happen. Another thing that we want to do as well is to get outside. Take a walk, go out to the park, go on a hike. Anything that we can do to take in that fresh air and to just acclimate ourselves is really important. Another thing too that I always like to touch on is that when we're outside and we're receiving sunlight, or when we're out in nature, we're actually receiving spiritual downloads from nature as well, and light codes. And this is really deep. It's almost like an iPhone receiving an upgrade. Because we are human beings, we're connected with nature on a spiritual level. Whenever we are out in nature, it is always upgrading our DNA, our mind, body, spirit, and souls as well. And the last thing I would like to say for spring, when it comes to harnessing that energy, is to manifest. Because spring represents new energy and renewal, this is honestly a great time to manifest. You can do things such as grabbing a piece of paper and writing down a list of things that you would like to manifest for the spring season. Oftentimes, this energy is so powerful that you will actually see the things that you wrote down to manifest actually come into fruition when the summer equinox happens. So you guys, these are some tips for harnessing the energy of spring. Please like, subscribe, and drop your comments down below. I would love to hear if you have any additional tips as well. Peace.